Hey everybody, and welcome once again to Wisconsin Wonder Garden. I'm here with Dave and Dotsa from Green Meadows Hemp Farm for a really special interview introducing you guys to their plants, their farm, and more importantly, their story. So Dave, Dotsa, what kind of got you guys into hemp, CBD, and everything that entails this plant?
Well, our son has seizure disorder, and as we were researching the different therapies that can stop the seizures, we found CBD oil, which is cannabis oil from the cannabis plant. And we loved that it was natural, and we had found so many testimonials as well as clinical research evidence that says that CBD oil can actually stop some types of seizures.
They went away, he was on medication, and then when he hit adolescence they came back, and we had tried multiple medications, multiple different doses of that. Nothing seemed to work, and his grades started declining. I'm sure it affected him mentally, and our daughter, oldest daughter, has a yoga studio and really into the natural herbs and everything, like my wife Dotsa, and she was talking about CBD oil, and the more we researched it, we asked the neurologist to put him on. And you know, here we are a year later. I get emotional, sorry. Oh, yeah. A year later, no seizures. They've done EEGs on him, no crazy sparks in the brain, where they would always see that even on medication. So we're knocking on wood that we found the right thing.
You know, I love the fact that you can stop something with natural medicine as opposed to pharmaceuticals, and so we really kind of got into it from there. And we have some property, so we started growing the hemp for the CBD oil.
So over here at Green Meadows Hemp Farm, we're focusing on epilepsy and MS, which really entails a lot of inflammation. There's a lot of statements out on the internet and all over advertising that it's a cure-all for everything, and we're not claiming any of that. We're staying focused on strains that will help the inflammation for the everyday person, that may help in children, adults that do have epilepsy. We're constantly doing our research on what we're growing and understanding different strains so that we can provide it to the public.
Yeah, really having the highest quality, you know, doing the research and finding out which ones those are. That's great, and I love that you guys are doing that.
Thank you.
And I told you guys earlier I was going to put this on my smaller channel, but I decided to put this video here on Wisconsin Wonder Garden because I myself had struggled in the past with some basically facial spasms, and I had used CBD for that and found really great relief from it. And I think that this in particular, you know, hemp and CBD and all of the other various compounds that are in the plant, they're really important to share with other people and to show the true, like, heartwarming stories that you guys have, to say that this is making a difference in the community and to the people and family members that we love. I myself, my sister even, and my dad, and so many others around me have began using the oil because they've realized that nothing else is helping, if not making it worse. You know, a lot of pharmaceuticals that we're given tend to make things worse sometimes if doctors misdiagnose or just aren't really sure where to go. But CBD is something that can definitely be an option for a lot of people out there, and so that's why I want to share it here on Wisconsin Wonder Garden. Can you tell us a little bit about how the community has taken you guys? It's really, you guys are kind of forerunners in the state. There's not a whole lot of people out there doing it right now. So what sort of challenges have you came upon, and have you found the community and people around you to be supportive of it as well? You know, i.e. like the police department or local authorities. Have you had any issues with that so far?
No issues whatsoever. The police department has been more than outstanding over here. We notified them, sent them our license. They're looking for us to educate them. The chief in this area had no idea what to do, how this was all going to work. So I stay in regular communications with them, and they send vehicles over here checking on our property and our plants, which we really appreciate. All our neighbors here are very supportive. Our family is so supportive. Some of the friends of the kids, they make fun of it. They don't know what it is. We'll hopefully educate them.
Yeah, definitely. It's not just a lot of people think hemp, cannabis, no difference. People are just going off getting high on it. But there's, again, people need to stress, no psychoactive effects from CBD or hemp, correct? Yeah, and there's a huge medicinal benefit to it for people who maybe don't want to use cannabis, that have still heard of the benefits that come from it. And CBD.
We're also hoping that the community gets educated on them, because there are so many places that are selling fake CBD oil, gas stations, vape shops. Some's legitimate. I don't know. What we've noticed though is nobody supplies any paperwork, so we'll be supplying paperwork with COAs to the product for you to see. We're going to explain what you're reading, what the numbers mean, so then you can start being an educated buyer and going out when you're out there shopping.
Cool, that's great. I know I myself a few times have went in to buy flour or oils or anything like that, and I've asked for COAs, and they go, "What's a COA?" And I thought it was mind-blowing, because that is the whole basis of your product. Is everything that is in that plant needs to be listed off, and the pesticides and what they're using. With that being said, what sort of farming practices are you guys using here?
We're growing organically, so it's all strict organic. There's no pesticides. Our fertilization methods are all organic, as is our soil and everything we do.
Sweet.
So that's another part that I don't think a lot of people realize. The process of going through to become organically certified, the tests that we had to go through. So they actually use hemp for cleaning contaminated areas. So that's another thing we're going to supply to the buyers of our product, is to show that there was nothing in the ground, that it was all generic organic.
That's awesome. And that's pretty hard to come by too. Actually certified organic takes a lot of work. So I give you guys props for sticking to that and really wanting to go that route. You think overall it's going to provide a healthier, a higher quality product?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, my worrisome is we look at our son who's taking it for a real purpose with epilepsy, and what if we had bought plants that were in a contaminated area, and now he's bringing that into his system?
And especially if they're not providing COAs, you just do not know what's in that product.
Absolutely.
So getting a COA, for those of you who are unaware, maybe it might be your first time buying any types of oils, getting a COA is very highly recommended, as well as checking out an organic product. As I always say on the channel, organic is simply best. So with that being said, let's take a look at your crops here and the different strains you guys have growing.
Okay.
Dave, how many plants do you have here, and then what sort of strains do you guys all have growing as well?
So down on this field we have 1,500 plants growing, 1,600 plants almost. There's 3 strains down here. One is Trace, which you're looking at right now. That's a combination of cherry, auto, and wife. And then off to our right down here we have the strain called The Wife. We like those because they're higher in CBD content. They're about 20%. And off to the right of that, we started. That's our cherry Uno. So we have 2 cherries. We have Cherry Uno and Cherry Mom. Cherry Mom is at the other field, along with The Wife and Trace. These were all planted at different times during the year. Here in Wisconsin, we had a pretty wet season. We did not get the Trace in here until June 19th. A week later, we got The Wife planted in between rain showers, so that was about the 26th of June. And then the Cherry Uno was done about 4 days before the 4th of July, maybe July 1st. We also planted our field up in northern Wisconsin that same weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, I know the weather and all the rain that we've got early this spring put a lot of people off, and a lot of farmers even had trouble even getting in their crops. So kudos to you guys for dealing with that challenge. The plants have been looking really well. I got a shot that I'll scroll right now of what they looked like when I first got here the very first time, and now this is what they look like after about a month of growth. So I'd say they're doing really well.
One of the things I'd love to offer advice, because we do have a organic farmer who took us under their wing to start this out, and it was rookie mistakes: too much water, too much water, too much water. Our plants looked yellow. We were worried about them when we first put them in, and they were like, don't touch them, don't touch them, don't touch them. Yeah. Best advice we could have had this year.
Well, things are looking really good. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Now, before I leave you guys, I want to ask you one question. If there's anything that somebody could have told you when you started this, what do you wish that would have been?
That it's not going out in your backyard and digging up some land and throwing some seeds in there and watering and think it's going to grow. Farthest thing from reality.
Definitely. Well, cool. Thank you guys. We'll hope to see you in the next video. Happy, wonderful gardening adventures.
Bye-bye.